Okay, so this is for a friend. I'm putting together a project for him. I don't know quite what he wants this to do, but it's four sensors. Look at it's four sensors right here. These distance sensors into a Raspberry Pi Pico. There's an LED here screen that gives the readings out of the four. He also wants to put these in boxes, some kind of box that you can remove. And so there's reed switches also. I haven't put them on here, but we'll put them up here. The reed switches, I've got one in place now. There is a SD card for logging. So this will be all logged to an SD card, and it will also produce web pages. And we are going to put it, we're going to get a dashboard on the website, so to show where all these things are and what the measurements are. So let's go to the code here. Let's explain the code really quickly. So the first thing you do is I'm setting up some defaults for these variables. How often do we want to log? When do we roll over? How many readings? What is the sensor box? You notice I have B here, but we're going to read from the SD card what the sensor box actually is. There's an INI file. How many sensors do we have attached? Of course, your network information. I have a list of all the triggers and a list of all the echoes. And then I have all the reed switches right here. I don't know why this is doing this. Okay, then I also have where on the OLED screen am I going to put the different text. You'll see I set up the LAN here. This just checks to see if one of those sensors are plugged in or whether it's not plugged in. And then this prints out stuff on the LED screen. This determines the sensor's distance. You just put in the sensor number here, and then it all works. We initialize, we set up the SPI interface. We set up the SD card. This is for writing the log file out. I haven't did that part yet. I read in the INI file here from the SD card. And then what I'll do is I will set them up based on what I read in. I connect to the Wi-Fi with my password. That's going to be on the SD card. So you just have to get to this file and change it to yours. Sleep, let everything stabilize for 100 milliseconds. Then I make a call to the world clock API, and I get a JSON back. And then a JSON, I get the current date and time from the world clock, and then I set up the Raspberry Pi has a built-in RTC, a real-time clock, and I set it up. You'll never see this because this basically goes too fast. I'll put a delay here. But then I go into the main loop. The main loop is I check to see if all the sensors are plugged in. Then I read each sensor one at a time. I think there is a 100 or 200 millisecond sleep between reads. I'll reduce that. Then I go through and I write them all out. I will also, this print will be a log entry. And then I will set up an interrupt to send out a web page. We will also push to a Google dashboard also, so you can log on to Google and see a graph of this stuff. So let me run this, and then I'll just hit run here, and you'll see it down here. But let me run this, and we'll go right over to the LED screen. So let me go over here, run it over here. You'll see down here we're initializing, and you can see um, um, so we're initializing here. You'll see there's 4 unknowns. Right here is my setup. Turn on the light here so you can see. Here's my setup. I got the Raspberry Pi here. I've got 2 sensors. I put up 4 eventually. My SD card. Over here, this is my reed switch. So if I put the reed switch together, you'll see the unknown. You see it's max, and now it's actually making a reading. If I take the reed switch out, it goes back to unknown. Put the reed switch in. I'll get away from it, and you'll see it'll go to max. And then I'll get in front of it. There, yeah, I'm about 20 centimeters away. I move the reed switch, it's unknown. So that all works. Let's go over to the code again. You'll see this is what the log file will look like. So we'll have the date time. Let me put that back together. So you'll see it's probably gonna get it going again. Okay, there we go. Put the reed switch back on. You'll see that it's continuing to make log entries. This is box A, sensor 0, and this is the distance. And then you'll see that's I'll make it max or I'll make it at anything over 400 centimeters is a bad reading. So I'll basically put a max reading on this. And so that's what we've got so far. So the only thing left to do is to log it to the SD card and create the website that this will produce a web page. And then I think I'm done. I think then finish this drawing here. And I don't know whether I'm going to do a PowerPoint or a pencil, but I'll finish the drawing, get the software, and then I'm all done. So that's where we are. So just the voltages here, it is pulling what it's doing right now as it's pulsing. The whole circuit's pulsing. I'll do both traces for both sensors, but I'll get all 4 sensors. But right now it is pulling. Let me actually. Okay, yeah. Like 6 milliamps. So it's not pulling. It's pulling hardly anything. Well, that's only measuring the 5-volt input. So yeah, that's not the whole voltage, but I'll do the whole voltage here soon. But anyhow, that's the voltage in. And then that's the mess. So you'll have to wire that up. Yeah, so yep, there you go. My camera doesn't want to focus.